do you do when you're on a path of success and you keep getting roadblocks? What does the roadblock mean? Today, I want to talk about that because I have noticed that when you're on a journey to success, to achieving something that is new for you, roadblocks are always going to come about. And I want you to understand what those roadblocks mean and understand that those roadblocks are a good thing. Today is day 7 of me posting daily here on YouTube. And I made a commitment that I was going to try to post every day, or I was going to post every day for 6 months with the goal or the intention of getting monetized and also growing my business, my coaching business. And yesterday was amazing. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I've made 6 videos. And yesterday afternoon, I got sick. I got really sick. I got really bad food poisoning. And it was it was like a knock in the gut, because I was weak. I usually in the evenings I like to think about what I'm going to talk about in the morning or on my walks, and I couldn't do as many walks as I normally did because I was either in bed or in the toilet. You can even tell from my voice, like I'm just not where I want to be. But even though everything was happening and I was feeling terrible, I realized that this was probably just a roadblock, right? And there's this book called The War of Art. And in this book, the author talks about this thing called resistance. And he describes resistance basically as, I would just say, like a low vibrational thing. It is the thing that stops you from achieving the goal. It's like the thing that comes to sabotage your goal, right? I like to think of it first. I feel like there's stages to this. I think first, when you commit to something, especially something that you've never done before, you're going to get tested, right? It's like a test. Like, all right, she says she's going to make this video every day. Let's see if she does it. Like, let's see if I send the kids to interrupt her, if she'll stop or she'll get upset. Let's see if I make her camera equipment stop working, if she'll still find a way to do it. There are going to be tests thrown at you, right? And a lot of times the tests start very small, and then as you start to gain momentum, a part of you and or a part of the system, like the universe, the matrix, is going to be like, oh no, she's leaving us behind. What is this, right? And so the first thing that you can do is you can also self-sabotage yourself, because when you're going towards success, there's a high likelihood that your body or your brain or your mind is going to perceive that success as something that is scary because of what might happen, what could come about of you gaining subscribers, growing your business, making a lot of money, putting yourself out there. What could happen? What are the bad things that could happen, right? And if those things keep coming up, they're trying to get you to stop what you're doing, right? Because ultimately, your mind, your brain, your body, everything, your body's job is to keep you safe. And safety for your body is going to be what is familiar, okay? And so if you have the desire to do something, but instead of following that desire, you're constantly doom scrolling, watching other people's lives, wishing you had their lives, not doing the thing that you know you want to do, then your body would prefer you keep doing those things. You keep eating unhealthy, you keep doom scrolling, you keep not moving your body, you keep doing things that keep you in the same space, right? It keeps you stuck where you honestly don't want to be, because there's a part of you that knows, hey, there is more for me out there. I want a better life. I want a better job situation. I want better, right? I want to do these things. For me, I want to be present for my kids and not be stuck in a 9 to 5, right? I want these things. And I also have the audacity to believe that I can work minimal hours and still make the same amount of money. That is contrary to what people believe and is contrary to what people see. And so there is going to be some resistance there, right? I'll lead into the resistance of other people. But the first resistance is going to come from you. It's going to come from your body. It's going to come from your mind, right? And so I see illness as a form of resistance, where I'm somebody who I from childhood I tend to get sick. I have a chronic condition. And so illness is not something that I am not familiar with. And because I have had this my whole life, I don't even see it as resistance anymore. I just laugh when something happens, because I'm just like, whenever I get sick, I ask myself, well, what is the goal that I have right now that could be that, my body could be resisting, right? Now, obviously, I'm not saying that you should ignore your body and then do something that could be detrimental to you, right? You have to be able to discern which one is resistance and which one is like you being sick. There are a lot of times that you want to do a goal and your body just wants to rest. And the reason it wants to rest is because for such a long period of time, you haven't taken any rest for yourself, right? That's a different thing. Here, I'm talking about when you start to see roadblocks. And so the first roadblock is going to be from your body. And then the second roadblock is going to be from people outside of you, right? Which is why they always say that if you want to do something, if you have a goal, it might be better to not tell anybody, because people are going to, in a way, discourage you from pursuing that goal. And sometimes people are actually going to go out of their way to sabotage you from doing that. So on my health channel, I talk about weight loss. If you're on a health channel, on a weight loss journey, telling people about your weight loss journey could be a problem, right? Because when people start to see you losing weight, they're gonna just all of a sudden bring food around you, or food that could be tempting for you is gonna suddenly appear. And it's like this temptation, like, oh, you say that you wanna lose weight, but are you actually, like, if I bring this food around, will you be able to resist it, right? Or certain things will happen that will make you feel like you need to go back. You drive by somewhere, you smell something, and you're just like, oh my God, this smells so good. I could just have this one thing, right? Or you tell somebody that you're going to start making social media content and you're going to start an online business, and they're like, well, why you want to become an influencer? Not really understanding that not everybody online is trying to be an influencer. Or why are you going to put yourself out there? Why can't you just go get a job that's more stable? Or what makes you think that, like, you can make some silly videos and people pay you tens of thousands of dollars, right? There's going to be people outside who, because they also have a similar mind, a fear-based mind, and a mind that is not even able to imagine what you're trying to do, they are going to intentionally or unintentionally try to sabotage you. And so the thing you have to realize when that happens is, for me, I see it as a sign that I am going in the right direction. And the more the sabotage, the know I closer, the more the roadblocks, the more I know I am closer to my goal. I'll give you one example that happened to me. And this one is one of those, once you get past you and you get past the people around you, the next sabotage is going to be on the next level. I would say it's like matrix level, or it's going to be like a spiritual sabotage. I'm a spiritual person, so I will be talking about spirituality here. But I had a goal last year when I started my coaching business on my health side, to start coaching. And when I started doing it, I created a course and everything for that. And then I started marketing it. I had things start to happen to me that made no sense. Okay. And I was like, okay, like if you're into spirituality, like this felt like spiritual warfare, because all of a sudden my internet stopped working. I couldn't upload videos onto YouTube to market my business. And I thought, wow, like what are the chances that my internet is not working? And I waited for a week, right? So there was a delay in the date that I decided to post. And then I called the company and they were like, we don't know what's going on, but we're going to send somebody to come. And they did, and everything got fixed. And then the same day, that night, the internet went off again. So I got fed up and I decided to try a new internet company. So I canceled the other ones, got a new internet company. That internet company came and they put in the internet, and then everything was working fine. I'm like trying to upload this video, and the next day the internet goes off again. And I'm like, okay, what are the chances? I know it could be like, one company is okay, but two separate internet companies, what the hell's going on? And then the person came back because he came to just follow up, and I was like, my internet's not working. And he was like, that doesn't make sense. I have everything set up. So he goes and looks into it, and it turns out my work order disappeared from the system. And that was one of the strangest things that ever happened to me. It took a good week to get me to have internet in that house. I remember the guy mentioned that it was the strangest thing he had ever seen, because he had never seen somebody who like where the internet just disappeared. Like he put it in a work order, had everything, had proof of everything, but in the system it didn't show up. And so I knew that was more of like a spiritual thing, right? That was like, okay, I have pushed past myself fear. I have pushed past the fear of other people that are being projected onto me. And so now I was seeing things happening that were almost not, that didn't make sense. That were like almost like paranormal, like beyond my imagination. Like, why would things like this happen? But again, because of this book, I love this book, the War of Art. And also, if you're a spiritual person and you read the Bible, and you do know that there is a tendency for things to happen when you're on a path of God, when you're on a path of achieving something that could be disruptive, achieving something that's basically different, achieving something that is outside of what is considered normal, is considered part of a system, is considered part of a society, part of a tradition, part of the matrix, right? Once you try to step outside of it and work on having autonomy for yourself and have free will and go inwards for in terms of spirituality, there will be forces that are going to be against that and are going to try to sabotage that. And so the point of this video today was to basically let you know that when you go on this journey, any journey that is going to be beneficial for you, okay, you should expect roadblocks. You should expect resistance, right? And I want you to take resistance and roadblocks as a sign that you're probably going in the right direction, okay? When you decide that you want to do something that is different from the norm, there will be roadblocks, there will be resistance. But the resistance should be encouragement. It should let you know that, hey, your brain or your mind is like, she's doing this thing. Like she's getting somewhere. I can't believe she's taking that step. And also, if you decide to do this, then it might be beneficial to not tell anybody about this journey that you're going on, right? Set an intention to, if you're setting an intention to lose weight, for example, I do things in like 6 month chunks. So like I have this challenge for 6 months, And of course, like I'm shooting for the stars. What is it? Like if I shoot for the stars and I only reach the moon, then I'm still up, right? I'm still gonna be higher up in the higher realm versus just staying down here and not changing anything about my life. So, like I was saying, when you're on a journey where things are going to be different, where you're pursuing something that is going to improve your life and it's different from what is considered normal, you need to be prepared to face resistance, and you need to see resistance as a good thing and not the bad thing, right? The resistance will present itself in a bad way, in a way that doesn't feel good, but if it presents itself, it's a sign that you're going in the right direction. So, how do you deal with this resistance? How do you deal with the roadblocks that happen? First, like I said, you turn it around and you see it as a good thing. And then the second thing that you're going to do is that you're going to commit to the outcome that you want, right? If the outcome is to start a business and you know that putting yourself out there is going to give you a certain amount of money, then focus every day on the money that you're going to get, on the feeling that you're going to get when you get the goal, right? Focus on the outcome and not on the feeling that you're feeling presently. You want to focus on the feelings you're going to feel when you achieve the goal. If your goal is to lose weight, then focus on what are you going to feel like once you're lighter, right? Once you have abs, once you have muscle, once you are able to fit into certain clothes, for example. Focus on that feeling when the resistance is coming, right? It's like you ignore it. You're just like, okay, I see what you're doing. I understand, but I'm gonna live in this world. I'm gonna live in this world that I've created for myself. This world where I have the things that I want. This world where things are easier for me, where my life is better. I am filled with joy, peace. I'm able to do fun things. I'm not restricted, right? I have flexibility. Always focus on the goal and the feelings that you're going to get when you have the goal, right? Because the whole reason why you started this journey in the first place is because you had an imagination of a life that is different from what you have now. And so don't be discouraged by what you're feeling presently, because it's just your body and the system not wanting you to move from where you are to where you want to be. So your goal every time this happens is to focus on the thing that you want. Okay? Focus on the feeling, focus on how focus on what you see the results being, and how it's going to change your life, and how your life is going to become better. And then whenever those roadblocks come, because they will come, you're just going to know that you're getting closer and closer and closer to your goal. And the bigger the roadblock, sometimes the closer you are. And I want to also say that if the roadblock comes and you succumb to it, right? You feel discouraged and you stop and you like, I'm so tired. I don't want to do this anymore. Everything I'm doing is not working. Take a step back. That's okay. Take a step back, sit with it, let it pass, right? It's almost like a stomach ache, and it aches and it aches, and there's nothing you can do. So you just sit with it and you let it move through you and you let it pass. But the key is that the next day you get back on your horse, okay? You get back on the horse and you do the thing that you want to do. Because again, you are now committed to the outcome that you want. You're not committed to the feeling that you have right now. As I'm talking to you and my daughter is being noisy. Can you be quiet, baby? Please. So you are committed to the outcome and not committed to what is happening in the present, right? So you're living in the future, but your body is in the present. And once you're okay with that, you're going to be able to push forward through the roadblocks to get to the end of the tunnel. So I think it's 7 in the morning. Yeah, it's like 7 in the morning, and it's my this is usually when I try to film before they wake up, and I'm not always successful, but I know that this challenge is important to me. This challenge is important to me, and I want to try to see it through. And no matter what the resistance is, I'm going to still post a video every day till February 13th. And then I'm going to see if I can get my goal of not only getting monetized on YouTube, but growing my business, my coaching business as well. And if I do those two things, then I will have the life that I want, which is a life where I'm working limited hours, 4 hours a day, and I have the time to take care of my kids or to be with my kids. And I'm still able to help people. And I have flexibility where I can travel. Maybe I can do speaking engagements. I'm putting that one out there. And just live a more fluid life, more flexible life, live a life of ease and not a restricted life, rigid life, a life that doesn't work with me and who I am. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I'm gonna go back to drinking coconut water and replenishing my minerals. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye. Bye.